Hello, Hollydale Heroes. Miss Jules here. I am back for another term full of Saturdays, specifically Nature and Me class. I am so excited that you're here. I can't wait to get started. First, I'll give you a little bit of information before we start. So if you were here with us last term in the wintertime, you will know that our Nature and Me classes looked at nature, outdoor spaces, gardens, animals, plants, birds, and we talked about how those spaces and how taking care of those spaces connects to us and our lives and how we, maybe getting outside, can learn quite a bit from nature. Now, this term, we're also each week going to learn some new things from nature. But what we're going to do specifically is learn about a new national park of the week and a new animal of the week. So each week we'll look at a new national park, we'll look at where it is in the US, and then look at the animals that live in those parks, choose an animal, and then we're going to see what we might learn from that animal and those nature spaces, and how those things might connect to us in our lives living here in the city of Gresham or Portland in Oregon. I'm so excited to get started. You can go ahead and grab a snack, a water bottle, use the restroom. You can grab your sun kit if you would like to, and grab out your Nature and Me folder, which will have printouts in it, as well as some craft supplies. And I, later in the video, am going to show you what to do with those supplies, how to use them, and what we're going to make. I'm super excited to get started. I can't wait. Before I do, I'm going to share my screen with you. But first, I just want to touch on what are national parks exactly? They're big, open, beautiful spaces where they are protected, both the land, the animals, the plants, all of the species inside are protected by the government of the United States. And they are places that we are allowed to visit. There are specific rules about protecting all of the animals and all of the plants and all of the things found in those parks. So when you visit, there are lots of signs that tell you things like don't leave your garbage around and stay far away from animals, stay this many feet away from animals so that everyone feels safe. And they are really, really awesome places to visit. Now, some of them are quite far away, so maybe you've never visited a national park before. No big deal. I didn't visit a national park until I was 22. I was already an adult and I still hadn't gone to one. That's totally okay. Luckily, we have really cool videos and really cool resources to be able to sort of visit these national parks virtually. So let's get started. Let's jump in. We'll see which is our national park of the week and what is our animal of the week. And then I'll show you some cool stuff you're going to use in your kit. All right. All right, so the first thing you're going to find in your sun kit is a piece of paper with this picture on it. It says US National Parks. Now, throughout the term, we are going to use this to mark off the parks that we visit virtually. So you can see this is a map of the United States of America, which is the country that we live in. Here is our state. Here's Oregon. Alaska is down here because it needs some room, but in real life, it actually lives up here. And you will see that in your folder. So go ahead and grab that out if you want to right now. You can also do it after the video. Each week as we visit a new national park, I want you to you can circle, you can put an X through, somehow mark which national parks you visit so we can keep track. Now, one really cool thing you can do is when you visit a national park, you can mark it, and then the next week you can draw a line to where the next one is. Then once you're done and we're finished with our term, you can see kind of the virtual road trip that you took from park to park to park to park. It should be pretty cool. All right, so don't lose that piece of paper because each week we're gonna mark it off. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so I'm wondering if you're getting curious yet about which national park we are visiting this week. I will give you a little hint, and it might be kind of easy since you are looking at your map right now. The national park we're going to visit first is in our state of Oregon. Any guesses? I think you might know. Crater Lake National Park. That is correct. This is a picture of Crater Lake National Park. You can see this gigantic lake. This picture doesn't even show us all of it. And it's right in the middle of a crater, which is exactly how it got its name. Now, this park became a national park in 1902, which was 119 years ago. It's the 5th oldest national park, and the way it was created is by a volcano that erupted called Mount Mazama, and it left this gigantic crater in the ground. It's the deepest lake in the US at 1,949 feet deep, so almost 2,000 feet deep, deeper than any other lake in the United States. That's pretty crazy. Now, some really cool animals you'll find at Crater Lake are bobcats, beavers, chipmunks, black bears, deer, elk, coyotes, foxes, squirrels, porcupines, and then a lot of different birds. So there are really cool animals to see if you ever get to visit this national park. It's kind of a far drive. It's about 6 hours from where we live. So it's not the easiest to get to. And the best time to go down there is in the summertime, spring and summer, and kind of early into fall before they get lots of snow. That makes it a little bit harder to get to. And it's not open for the whole winter. So this picture was taken, it looks like in late summer, maybe turning into fall. And the lake always looks this blue. It's pretty awesome. I have been there a couple times, once in the snow and once in the summertime, and it's awesome. And one thing that's interesting is that the lake is you have to be so careful about what goes in the lake so that you don't destroy or harm any of the species of the animals or plants or water life in the lake. So there are only about 1 or 2 spots that you can go swimming, and lots of things aren't allowed. You can't bring pool floaties and things like that because to be really careful what materials we let touch the water. So again, national parks are all about protecting our land and keeping everyone healthy and safe and good to go. All right, now what I really want to show you is this cool video from Crater Lake made by some rangers who work at Crater Lake. And they're going to teach you a little bit about how you can find and practice your art and creativity in nature. Later, we're going to, I can't wait to tell you what I have to tell you. I'm going to make a nature journal, which I'm going to show you how to do. And I want you to be thinking about maybe some way you can be creative, something artistic you can make for your nature journal. So let's give this video a watch.
All the action was taking place several miles below the mountain in the magma chamber where the pressure was building up to an intensity that just couldn't be sustained. All the life within like 30 miles of the summit was just, killed instantly.
Have you two been practicing for the art competition?
I've been practicing. I'm a pretty good artist, I've been told, but I haven't had much time for it lately. How about you, Steph?
I've been practicing a lot. I heard all about the annual newspaper art competition before I even started work at Crater Lake. Every ranger wants their artwork on the front page.
I've been practicing too. People tell me I'm a good artist, but I wasn't born that way. I've been practicing every day for years. And it's not just my painting skills that I've developed, but I've become more creative too. Creativity is a skill that anyone can learn.
Did you know that Crater Lake was preserved as a national park in part because of art? I actually have a copy of an early painting of Crater Lake with me. Artwork like this was sent all the way from Oregon to Washington, D.C. They helped convince Congress and the president to protect Crater Lake forever as a national park.
Yeah, just being the deepest lake in the United States wasn't enough. Politicians needed to see how beautiful this place really is.
Creativity is a skill that anyone can learn.
Did you all hear the news? Stephanie, you won the newspaper art competition. The superintendent picked yours because it's the most creative.
Wow, I always wanted to win the competition. At first, I didn't think I had the skills to win, but as soon as I started trying new things and having fun, it changed the whole game.
Congratulations, Ranger Stephanie. I knew all of your practice would pay off. You're a really good artist.
Oh my goodness, how did you ever come up with that idea? It's so creative. I'm so impressed.
Thank you. I'm proud of my work. The beauty of Crater Lake National Park inspired me to try new things, and I ended up impressing myself.
Now it's your turn to be an artist. Your job is to make art inspired by nature. Remember, creativity is a skill that anyone can learn, so make sure you practice doing something new and fun, a style of art that you've never tried before. You can even invent your own style.
It'd be great if you could go outside and immerse yourself in nature at a park, but almost any nature will do. If you aren't able to go outside, you could look out your window or even do a web search for images of a national park that you would like to visit in the future.
You can grab your favorite art materials or try making art with new materials you've never used. If you don't have any art materials at home, a pencil and a piece of paper will work just fine. Or get creative using anything you can find.
Your teacher may ask you to submit your artwork for a grade, but you can also send us your artwork and we'll post it on the official Crater Lake National Park website. Just email it to the address in the description.
I'm just going to read you all what this says. So to do this project that they just talked about, you would first collect your art supplies. Second, find some inspiration. Go outside if you can, or look out a window. Even search for images of national parks online. Just don't forget to make sure that you ask an adult before you do so. Create art inspired by your surroundings. Challenge yourself to do something creative, something unlike anything you've ever seen before. And then you can give your art to your teacher, you could show it to your family, you could even send it to a local newspaper or even to Crater Lake.
National parks are great places to be inspired by nature. Let's go explore and see what we can discover.
That's a pretty cute little squirrel. So cool. I hope that you all enjoyed that video. Oh, make sure we don't play it again. Oh. Let's pretend you didn't see that animal yet. All right, very cool, you guys. So, like that video showed, you can be inspired by nature to do art of any kind. Well, this term, we'll look at some really cool projects you can do outside. Like they said, even if you can't go outside, look out the window or find some pictures on the internet of national parks, something that inspires you to create some really cool art. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about mostly having fun. And if you do want to improve, just practicing. We talked about growth mindset before, not being worried about how you're doing right now, but that you can keep on getting better the more you practice. Now, let's jump over to our animal of the week. One animal that I mentioned in my list of animals you can find at Crater Lake was a fox. Now, this is a red fox specifically. It's so cute, isn't it? I would love to play you all this very cute video of what it looks like inside the den of little red fox and red fox babies.
For much of the year, these fluffy black-tipped ears are difficult to spot in the wild. That's because red foxes are mostly nocturnal. But there are times of the year when they're more active during the day. Between May and July, when their cubs are born, they provide daily insights into their busy lives. A fox's life is quite adventurous, especially at the beginning. So let's take a look at their first year on Earth. Under this pine tree, there's a hidden underground nursery. For years, a fox mother has been raising her cubs in this den under the roots. And now, there's a new litter on the way. She's not alone. Mid-March is the peak time for fox births. The average litter size is 4 or 5. Fox cubs can't eat meat right away. Instead, they're suckled for their first weeks. Milk is all they get. The cubs are born deaf, and their eyes stay shut until they're 2 weeks old. They're also unable to thermoregulate themselves. Despite their fluffy baby fur, they need their mother's warmth. For the first few weeks, the vixen spends most of her time with the cubs. Fox parents normally raise their young together. This mother is on her own, but luckily she's able to profit from her eagle neighbor's hunting skills. The fox cubs are now 2 weeks old, and there are just 2 left out of 5. They're not yet allowed to leave the den, so their priority is to cuddle, sleep lots, and grow fast. In late spring, the cubs emerge above ground. They're 4 weeks old now, and this is their very first excursion out of the den. They're always under watchful eyes. And are only allowed to stay out for a short time, but they definitely enjoy it. There's nothing they won't try out, sniff, or nibble at. When the little ones doze off after a new adventure, their mother can relax. Unless disturbed, cubs stay in their burrow until early June, though they may abandon it earlier in hot weather. They're now old enough to start fighting over access to food, and sometimes the winner isn't that clear. But no matter who's the victor, both have learned from their mother that they should carry their food away quickly to somewhere safe. When the summer sun is high in the sky, the cubs extend their outdoor adventures a little more. They start to forage for themselves. They tend to go for easy-to-catch prey, such as insects and earthworms, while slowly developing their hunting skills. They still don't recognize much easy prey, but they already know how to avoid becoming prey themselves. In late summer, the cubs start their first high mountain expedition. It's a chance to get familiar with future prey, though right now they're far from being a threat to marmots. They even start to play with their furry neighbors. But the marmots are skeptical. Playing with middle schoolers is not permitted. The two foxes finally get the message. They aren't welcome in this marmot club. High up in the mountains, it's getting colder, and the foxes use the time to grow new winter coats in preparation for the snowy season. Now, it's time to make it through winter. The young foxes start to actively patrol their territory. Although red foxes are born deaf, they soon develop excellent hearing. They pick up low-frequency sounds very well, which enables them as carnivores to catch animals even underground or beneath a massive load of snow. Besides foraging, the fox siblings are on the lookout for other foxes. If they find a potential partner, they'll travel together. In January, the mating season will start, and the dens beneath the pine trees will be filled with new fox cubs again. The Alps are one of the richest biodiversity.
So cool. Now, these red foxes in this video are not in Crater Lake. You can see all those big, huge mountains and big lakes. It sounds like it might be in the Alps is where they filmed this. This is in Europe. But they still are very cute, and you can find them at Crater Lake. I loved seeing that inside their little dens. All right, so animal of the week, red fox.
For much of the
I would watch that again. Now, in your kits, you are going to find this printout that says, help the mother fox find her baby. It's just a cool little maze you can work on. You can do that anytime. It's just for fun, something extra for you to do this week. Now, we've talked about our National Park of the Week, which is Crater Lake, and we've talked about our Animal of the Week, which is the red fox. So now, today's main thing we're going to do is craft our nature journals. Now, these nature journals are going to be used all term. You can use them after as well. You can, once you learn how to make it, you can make your own. You could make as many journals as you want. So what you're going to need is thick paper for the cover, which you will find in your kit in your folder labeled Nature and Me. It's going to be a little bit thicker than the white paper that you'll find as well. They're going to be different colors for each person, but it's going to be something kind of light, something pastel colored, so that you can decorate it and see. And then you'll have about 5 pieces of white paper that's a little bit thinner. You are also going to need your hole punch. Now, mine looks like this. Yours might look a little bit different. It's probably going to have a pretty cool little design. Mine is a star. I don't know what shape yours is going to be. I would love if you would comment below and tell me what it is, though. You're going to need string, yarn, or ribbon. I'm going to include some string in your kit. Mine looks like this. It's white because I want to decorate my journal with lots of different colors potentially, so I wanted something basic. And lastly, you're going to need some scissors. Now, you might not actually have to use your scissors if your string is cut the amount that you want, but you can grab them and then you have them and you'll be ready to go. So let's get started. I am going to stop sharing for a moment so you can see me a little bit easier. One more thing I didn't put on here that I might want is some kind of coloring material. I have both colored pencils and markers here. So have all your supplies. What I want you to do first, let's make pretty well. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your thicker piece of pastel colored paper for your cover, and you are going to fold it in half. Now you're going to take your 5 pieces. You can do any amount, but I put in 5 so you have, it's going to make 10 pages so that you have enough to page for every week of the term. You're going to fold those in half. Now I folded them all together. If that's a little bit difficult and too thick, that's no problem. You can do them one by one. What you're going to do is you're going to grab your hole punch. So basically your journal is going to open like this. You're going to have your paper inside. This is going to be your cover. And how we're going to stick it together is you're going to do hole punches down the side and tie it up with string. Now you can do, I think if you do one, it probably won't hold together very well. I think you want to do at least 2, one toward the top, one toward the bottom, or even 3. So I just want to make sure I get my paper in the right place. I'm just going to hole punch like 2 of my white papers and my green. So I'm going to put that in there. And I think I'm going to do 3 holes. I want it to be like nice and secure. So I'm going to scoop that in. I'm going to watch my fingers. You can look at the back of your hole punch to make sure it's in the right place. Just being very careful with my fingers. I'm going to that cut pretty loud. And voila, you have a star-shaped hole. Your shape, like I said, could be different. Make sure it's all lined up. You might want to hole punch your stuff a little bit, maybe a little bit less at a time. Maybe start with just the cover and then do your white piece of paper. Line up. Oh man, that really is thick. All right. Pull it off. Just be careful that you don't tear it because you don't want to have a hole. Okay. You also might notice you have some confetti now of different shapes. You could definitely save that for another project or even glue them on your journal as decoration. All right, so now I have those. Now I'm going to make sure that I hole punch my white paper in the exact same spot. Best way to do that is to line it up. What I'm going to do is take my white paper out. Put this white paper in, line it up. And again, you can look at the back to make sure it's in the right place. Oh man, you know what? Miss Jules is struggling. I might have to do it. Now I can kind of see where I need it to be. There we go. Take a little bit of patience. I'm going to kind of mark it again. this one. And then take my white paper out. Don't worry if it takes you a few tries. You can see even Miss Jules having to try things and then they don't work, having to try again, which is totally fine. All right, I got my top two in the right place. Let me just make sure. I get these in the right place. Almost ready. All right, I got them all. I'm ready to put them together. All my white pieces of paper inside my green journal cover. Got all my confetti. Now, you could take your string and sort of sew it through like this, and then in this one, and then this one. What I'm going to do, I am going to tie each one. This is where your scissors will come in handy because you can make your string as long as you want it to be. I'd like bows, but I think I'm going to tie mine in knots so that it doesn't come undone the more I use it. You can cut off the extra string if you want. You see Miss Jules isn't using her scissors as safely as she should. I'm going to fix that. And my last one. All right, so as you can see, now my journal is tied together with my string. Now I can open it like this and write or draw in it. I am definitely going to save this confetti. I might decorate it with that. But for now, what I'm going to do is just work on getting my name on it. And you can do any decoration, any writing you like. I'm going to write on mine. Miss Jules. Nature Journal. Like this. Now, you get to decorate it however you like. I don't know yet what I want on mine. I think I'm definitely going to want a couple hearts. I'll definitely be putting some trees on it as well. Maybe try to draw an animal I like. My favorite animal is a polar bear. I just added a couple hearts for now. The fun part now is that you get to decorate it however you want it. I would love to see a picture of it. You can definitely have a parent or an adult in your house post a picture on our Facebook page or in the comments below of your journal. I can't wait to see your covers. I can't wait to see how you did the side of your journal and binded it together. I know you all are super creative, so I can't wait. Now, like I said, we are going to use this journal throughout the term. There is some extra paper in there, so if you come up with an idea you want to put in yours, that's okay. It's nothing that you have to follow exactly. And lastly, what I want to ask you all to do today is to write or draw in your journal something that nature taught you this week. So something either that you learned when you were outside or learning something about nature, maybe an animal or a plant, or even more exciting for me is something that you learned from today's video. Something you learned about Crater Lake National Park or red foxes or the importance of taking care of our parks and nature. You can put that anywhere in the journal if you want. You can put it on the first page or you could put it further in. Totally up to you. You could write about it, you could draw. This is totally just for you to do what you like and fill in what you learned. Now, each week we'll have a little bit more specific on the lessons of what nature teaches us. But this week, I just want to hear what you learned. So definitely post a picture or write a comment below this video. Give it a like if you liked it, and tell me what park you're hoping we visit next, what animal you're hoping we learn about next, and something that you learned in nature. I would love to hear from you all. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you have so much fun with your Red Fox maze, with this video, and with making your nature journal. And I can't wait to see you all next week. We are going to another park here on our Saturday Nature and Me video, and maybe you can guess it. We'll see. So can't wait to see you then. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine if it's sunny today. Bundle up if it's cold today for you. And I will see you all next week. Bye.